Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. We are making these 8 cards, all of which come from the Heirloom Arrangements Kit. And they're gorgeous, and there are so many different ways that you can do this that we'll talk about as I go through this video. This is one of the kits where I've seen this completely standalone, where you have 8 completely different projects to do. You have your ink cube, which I'm going to show you, everything like that. And there's actually some leftovers that I have, and I thought that we would make an alternative card with this today as well. I ran out of time. So I'll probably pop in Wednesday or something and do a real quick 5-minute video for you on that, probably on Facebook. So this is what you get in the kit, and there is a lot. And again, I just showed you all those 8 cards that we made earlier. All those come directly from the kit. I did not alternate from the examples too much. But with something like this, you get, it's like paper pumpkin, sort of, your IKEA directions. But those 6 cards there, that's where you look at the picture and put it together. But for cards 1 and 2, it tells you where to put the adhesive on the back of the affairment, everything like that. And with this kit, you get vellum and just regular paper affairment, all sorts of very fun and cute things. And we are going to use all of them. In this kit, you use every single stamp in the stamp set. And the colors are basic black, blueberry bushel, Cajun craze, cherry cobbler, crumb cake, daffodil delight, garden green, old olive, pecan pie, pretty and pink, and pretty peacock. Now there's some really good dimension to all of these cards. You don't have to do exactly what it says. I tried to keep to what the concept art shows you in the kits as much as possible, but I had a ton of ideas how to embellish them more as I was putting everything together. So that is the stamp set over there on the left that you get in the kit. And I love anything that's grid or scripty or whatever and vintagey. You also get a D-size block, a roll of tear and tape, Stampin' Dimensionals, and your pecan pie ink cube. But back to the vintagey part of this, everything in this kit is all about that old world, and I love it. Now, after I made all those cards, that is the content that I had left over. I didn't have any card bases, envelopes, or anything like that. I would have had to drag in products from the outside, which, it's never an issue at all. But back to, again, if you're a new paper crafter or a beginner and want to learn how to do this, this is a kit that you need. So you get that sentiment strip piece of paper there I just showed you over to the left, and then you get 8 envelopes. 4 of them have the grid inside over on the right, and the other 4 have that scripty postage print over there on the left. A quick reminder to sign up for our on-the-go Mega Class Suite collection with myself and Lisa. Next month's Paper Pumpkin, sign up for by April 10th. That is May. That is going to be June. New suite collection in the upcoming catalog, and those are the dies that you can pick up. Everything like that is over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. Type in Paper Pumpkin, on the go. I will have links and everything for you. Now, for the blog post for this, I am just going to have pictures of, the still pictures at the very beginning. So when you put your kit together, you can kind of see what I did a little bit. I'm mainly doing this as a video for you. Sometimes putting that adhesive on the back when you don't have directions and you're new, or just kind of want to make some quick cards without too much thinking. This is like mainly to show you where I put the adhesive and how I adhere these cards together. So before I did this video, which is why I didn't show you the kit in its entirety, is because I already punched out everything that I needed to and put everything inside the card base, so that way I could just bring them in and arrange them to you or for you, and then tell you what I did to get everything together. Yeah, skip intro. So I got all of our sentiments down, and those are going to be stamped with pecan pie ink. And I'm going to end up doing it twice. I thought I could simply move that panel of sentiment punch outs there around a little bit and leave the stamps on. It didn't work out that way. I knew I would have to move the circle one on the right, but I was hoping to leave the other four there and just kind of manipulate that paper and not have to pick any of them up. But it didn't work out that way at all. I had to pull everything up and lay it back down on our sentiment strip panel there and get that down with pecan pie. So for this part of the video, I'm doing all of my stamping first, and then we will move on to the envelopes. So while I'm getting that down, and then the envelopes, what comes in the kit is one of our D-size blocks, and this is going to come in every single kit of Heirloom Arrangements. But when I do the stamping on the envelopes, I'm bringing in that grid, and then the butterfly, I end up popping that you can see my right hand there, onto a C block, and they fit just perfectly. And I'm going to go through all 8 of those, pop down that grid at the bottom right, and then kind of at the top left of the grid part with pecan pie, I'm also going to take that butterfly stamp and just do that. So while I'm doing that, let's talk more about end colors that I talked about last week. But the names are Darling Duckling, and that's kind of like that yo-yo yellow I was telling you about. And then Timid Tiger, which reminds me of that Tangerine Tangelo. And then, of course, Strawberry Slush. That was from, oh gosh, 12 or so years ago. And then the Secret Sea, I thought that was kind of chocolate chippy. It's not. It's actually a very, very, very deep, dark blue. And you would think that Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy would have had us covered. This is bluer. And then there is Secret Sea, or I'm sorry, Cloud Cover, and that's pretty much what it reminds me of, is a cloud cover. I'm going to miss Boho Blue, but I'll have that in the house in a few, and we'll go through that together. So that's why I'm telling you that they only give you where to put it, how to put the adhesive on the back of everything for cards 1 and 2. So we are going to get started with card 1 right now. And like I said earlier, I pulled everything off screen earlier. Wow, that was too many earliers. And put the adhesive down where I thought it might go, especially cards 3 through 8. And so for this one, I'm just getting everything laid down. The first 2 were really easy for me to do. I didn't have to figure out too much. And I didn't have to too much with the other cards either. But luckily the pictures are big enough to where you can just kind of look at it and figure it out. Now, these images are laid down pretty loosely because, again, with cards 1 and 2, I'm just putting adhesive on the back where it tells you to, except for that first hexagon I put down. I put another strip in the middle rather than top and bottom. But these cards are beautifully layered up with 5 or 6 layers of just paper. Then you have your vellum, your sentiment, and your ephemera, butterflies, and all that. And it's a very good combination of using Stampin' Dimensionals and our tear and tape. So that was it for card number 1. Now for card number 2. This one is going to be, I think it's going to be one of our landscape ones. No, it's going to be one of our A2. I have the cards in front of me. I don't have the order I put them together in front of me. So I'm kind of winging it for the most part. Well, actually all the way. So for this one, I got all the adhesive down on the back as the kit directions tell you to do. One thing I really love about this is the vintage aspects of it, the early 1800s vibe. You have all those delicate, beautiful colors. They're just so dainty because the vellum definitely adds to the dainty part of it as well as the color does. But all the different patterns that you have in there, you have your botanicals, you have kind of like your boho print, you have your script print, your type print, your little postage whimsy there on the card bases. you have your grid. You just have a combination of these fabulous textile looking embellishments and everything like that. And they're also very watercolory in nature too at the same time, not to mention great sentiments. And this is something that I think I will pick up again just to maybe throw some elements in here and there with scrapbooking, definitely scrapbooking and card making. Cutting up those card bases would be great. So with something like this, I never hesitate to pick up two of them because you never know what you can do with them. So that is why I'm telling you, okay, we're getting into card number 3 right now, and I'm kind of having to wing how to put this together. With the cards from here on out, some already did the adhesive, some I did not because I'm starting to add my like own spin to it a little bit. Not too much though, because I do want to stick close to the kit for you. And just kind of put everything together. There's some things I wish I would have put Stampin' Dimensionals on in retrospect, but I didn't. But life goes on, and it did all work out to be okay. So as I'm putting these cards together, there are a million different ways that you could really vintage these up a lot by dirtying up the edges with a blending brush and some pecan pie ink, a sponge dauber, grabbing the blades of your scissors and or even ripping and tearing the edges of any kind of cardstock and then just stressing that out a little bit. And this is where you see me, okay, I got part of the adhesive on the back. The other part I wasn't sure on the top right, should I glue that or stamp dimensional? So, again, you always like want to check your levels and make sure nothing's like kind of frumping in there. But it's all got to balance out. So that was card number 2. And now we're moving on to card number 3. And all the card bases are the same. They are either, I think, they're pretty in pink and a very light blueberry bushel. And they're either going to be in grid or like that scripty font I was telling you about. So I'm putting card number 3 together right here. Back to how we could like change them up a lot or even a little bit. Add some ribbon to it. Sheer would be great, like the silver sheer ribbon that we have. Pearls, we have them too. Grab in some linen thread to maybe loop through the tags there, like that butterfly tag there. Just add some interest to it. I mean, there's an awful lot that you can do to this. I mean, definitely kind of dirty at the edges. Even use different colors. Craft ink, and then kind of rub that on top of something, and then grab a Kleenex or a Swiffer cloth and then wipe that glue off just to give that more distressed vintage look. If you wanted to even, okay, let's go bold here a little bit. If you wanted to do something, okay, let's go patina, okay? Kind of like that rusty look, that's a robin's egg sort of a little bit. I would pull in, I want to say like a little bit of balmy blue and pretty peacock. Mix those two re-inkers together and see, let it dry a little bit and then pick it up with a sponge dauber and see what you can come up with. And then maybe heat emboss it with some white powder. I mean, that's getting really, really dirty, but I mean, and that would like be a fun technique to show you too. I might have to think about that for next week or the week after so I can plan something cool and kind of wing it from there. So I think that was card number 4. And as you can see, they're all really, really super pretty and very, very simple to put together. I did put the Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that, and I think I have, yeah, this one was just pretty much an easy adhere together because I figured it out before I started getting all the elements on. And now kind of looking at my desk, not kind of, I am looking at my desk, and the back of the directions or the kit brochure is facing towards me, and the same directions are on every single one of our kits, paper pumpkin, for years. But it gets better though because when like the obvious is like right underneath your nose, and like I said, for years it just kind of clicks with you. Well, this did on all the kit. directions that come in the kit. Doesn't matter which kit. And I should know this, and I'm embarrassed, but you know what? Gotta own it. There's a QR code, don't laugh, that you can scan, and you get all the detailed everything there, like big time, because I just took a look, and like I said, I'm embarrassed, but I could have saved myself and used so much grief all these years. And so, yeah, I hopefully not too much, okay. But so that is card number 5, I think. That would have been really cute to put like a little linen thread bow underneath that sentiment there, just to give it something a little bit, church it up, so to speak. That was a bad word. Um, Enhance it. I should probably delete that, but it wasn't meant in any bad spirit. Okay, so card number 5, got that going and laid that panel down there with seal. Wasn't sure what to do with that, so I'm putting stamped initials on the back. This is one of those, it's like, well, okay, what am I going to do? And I'm hesitating there. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to wing this and, eventually figure it all out. But remember, I did all this before I figured out the QR code thing, and I really hope at least I had that right. Okay, I almost said QC, but yeah, QR code. Got that down, and I'm not too worried about the stem there because with everything we're putting on top, it's going to secure it. So when you layer up elements like this, again, watch how they're layered. You can tell that I'm pulling off 2 step dimensionals there on the back that I messed up putting on because it was going to just kind of mess it all up all the way around. So now I'm pulling the backings off of them, going to add some glue real quick. It was still sticky enough to put down where I wanted it to, but just in case. And when you layer elements up like this and make what I call like maybe these collage cards, they're kind of like a puzzle. You want bits and pieces to show, but you have to have your dimension on key and your the pieces that lay flat, they've got to be on key too. So there's a lot of using liquid adhesive on part of um, a card or a piece of ephemera or whatever, and then a glue dot on the other part of it, just so everything lines up. So I'm getting that blueberry bushel butterfly down, and then that, it looks like a calypso coral, no, pretty in pink, down for that card. And that's going to be it for card number 5. But you can see how I'm like tucking in the stamped dimensionals to make sure how they all line up and everything. Had to get the desk clean for a second. And looking at the time, I want to say we're on like card number 6 maybe. So as we're starting to finish up here, a couple of things I want to remind you of, like I did at the beginning of the video. Get in for April paper pumpkin kit and sign up for that by April 10th, and be sure to pick up the dies. I always have a giveaway of every kit monthly, and right now I think I like January, February, and March going on because something happened in January. February is a short month. I was gone earlier this month, so I'm a little bit behind. I'll get back to that in a minute. You see me a lot put like liquid adhesive or tear and tape at the bottom of an image and then prop the rest up with stamped dimensionals like I did that first image to the top right. Don't hesitate to do that. I use it as glue a lot like I do right there. And that's just kind of a hack that I've always used a little bit rather than the glue. So back to paper pumpkin, you want, and leave your comments under those videos in my YouTube channel under the video that says alternatives, like you'll say paper pumpkin alternatives, and then it'll tell you the month and the date. So definitely for January, February, and March. I'm going to close that out like April 1st. I probably should start closing out the 10th of every month. You know what? Which I'm going to, because that way it gives you another 10 days to get that kit before you have to sign up for the next month's kit on the 10th. So yeah, let's start doing that, like closing it out on the 11th, okay? I got a mental note, did that, so we're going to be good. So check out those videos, and be sure to leave your comment. You have to be in the U.S. though. And then that On the Go Suite Collection class that Lisa Hardin and I are putting on. She's over the Stamping Zoo, so go be sure to check her out. We have a ton of fun things for you. Great door prizes and just adorable little pillow gifts. And I think I showed that with a post I did on Tuesday for Stampin' Up! Only challenges. That is going to be our last card there, which is going to be super quick and easy to put together. I lost a piece of that was on the floor, so I thought, how am I going to do this? And I just pulled it in and found it. So what I showed you a couple seconds ago over on the left-hand side, that is what I do have left over to make an alternative card with. And like I said, I'll probably do that on Wednesday, like a quick reel or something like that, because it's just going to be adhering um, and a little thought process because I don't have a guide or anything like that to go by. So I got that framed down with liquid adhesive. And then the rest, now I know which card we're on, that's just going to be a really good combination of liquid adhesive and Stampin' initials. And I like all the cards, but I really like the black and white aspect of this card. And if I could have popped that one down on a script one, would I have? No, 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 no. Because I think the black and white is just really timeless. It looks great. And if you look at a lot of embellishments in these, like that frame size, I'm seeing the same thing in the textured note dies, the new ones. Oh, and on vellum like that, I know I'm all over the map, but I always am. If you put like a little teeny tiny dab on the back of where it's like colored, like teeny tiny dab, you're not going to be able to see through it, and it's going to go on and stick just fine. So don't hesitate to do that rather than use the tear and tape. But I wanted to stick to the kit contents and all that, stuff. So now that we are wrapping this up, I do want to thank you for joining me today. Hopefully Paper Pumpkin alternatives next week. We'll see. Because that kit was supposed to go on the 10th and today's the 20th, somewhere around there. So I'm popping all that down. So be sure to share this with your friends. Please leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe. The still photos are over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you again on Wednesday.